Thank you,
The
sir.
gentleman yields back. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Representative Pfluger, for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Administrator Regan, do you intend to place the Permian Basin into a status of non-attainment regarding ozone?
We're going to continue to work with both Texas and New Mexico to manage this
Are
process.
you aware that there are only 3 monitors in the entire Permian Basin, and do you know where those monitors are?
I'm sorry?
Are you aware that there's only 3 monitors, and do you know where those monitors are
I
located?
personally don't know where the monitors are, but my staff does.
They're in New Mexico. Do you know how big the Permian Basin is?
I have an idea, yes.
Have you been there?
I have not.
I want to commend Dr. Nance for coming. Do you make the decision on non-attainment?
I'm not quite sure.
Do you make the
Personally?
decision as the administrator of the EPA?
No. We
don't?
We have a program that determines non-attainment.
Who makes that decision?
Our Office of Air and Radiation makes that decision.
Are you the principal advisor to the president on air quality?
I am.
So do you make the decision on non-attainment?
No, I don't personally make the decision on non-attainment. There's a program that evaluates
What I heard today was you visited a lot of communities that you're worried about, right?
I absolutely do, yes.
Are you worried about the Permian Basin?
That's why Dr. Nance was there last week.
But are you personally worried about it?
I am, but when I can't make everywhere, all 50 states, that's why RAs go and make these visits that she made with you last week.
Tell me how much methane intensity has been reduced in the Permian Basin in the last 10 to 15 years.
I could have staff answer those questions for you.
This is a really important area.
Sure.
It's the most important area for energy production in the entire world. Wouldn't you think you would know what the intensity decrease was over the last 10 to 15 years?
As the administrator of a very large agency, I don't walk around with those specific facts in my head.
Which is that's
but
why
there are people that do.
That's
and
why
I can
we're
get
having
that
this hearing.
information for you.
Will you commit to coming to the Permian Basin before a final decision is reached?
I will commit that we'll have senior management come to the Permian Basin.
See, I think this is why we're having problems. Do you think the EPA should be authorized by Congress?
Do I think it should
Do you
be
think your
operated?
organization should be authorized by Congress?
Well, I guess President Nixon in 1970 and Congress in 1970 thought that. So
Well, we'll ask those questions later. We're talking about the most important, secure supply of energy in the entire world. The economic impact, the amount of production, the low price, affordable, clean energy. 32+% is the reduction in methane intensity in the Permian Basin over the last 10 to 15 years. Yet, at the very same time, we've increased the production 5-fold, from 1 million barrels a day to 6 million barrels a day. I'm very disappointed that you don't know that, because that is exactly why we are concerned about the overreach of the EPA, not having those facts, saying you don't walk around with those facts. You have to walk around with those facts. We're talking about energy security for our entire country here. This is the area that you should come visit. Of all the areas, this is the area that you personally should come visit. Did you review the Subpart W final rule?
the last time you and I talked, you asked for me to send Dr. Nance, and now today, as a gotcha, you've never invited me before, and now you're inviting me. We supplied Dr. Nance to come see you. So
We have invited,
whenever you
and
make
I'm
an
glad
ask,
she came and visited.
I try to oblige your ask whenever you make them.
But this is the most important energy production area in the entire world.
And you asked
And
Dr.
you,
Nance.
as the EPA director, should come visit it. Because if you're worried about methane intensity, you would know that we've reduced it by 32%.
I am absolutely
Did you
worried about it. And,
Did you review
and I honored your
Subpart
request
W?
of Dr. Nance coming
We
to
appreciate
visit
it.
you.
Did you review the Subpart W rule personally yourself?
Of course, I was briefed on the Subpart W rule.
Did you review the rule
Of
yourself?
course, I was briefed on the Subpart
Do you know how many
W rule.
pages that rule is?
I don't count pages and rules.
We do.
I mean, you might
We
think
do.
that I have time to do that, but I don't have time to count pages and rules. That's such a ridiculous question.
I feel like you're getting very defensive in these questions.
No, I'm not defensive. I just like reasonable questions. And
Let me
counting
tell you how many
pages and rules,
I think you would know
counting
because
pages and rules,
you know how many pages it is? It's 2,685 pages.
how many pages are in the
Administrator Regan, I'm going to reclaim my
How many pages are in the
time.
Clean Cars rule?
I'm going to
I've got
reclaim.
lots of rules to count pages on.
Mr. Chairman, can we suspend? Chair suspends. We'll reset that clock for a second. I'm not sure exactly how much time, but I'll wait until we get it back. Thank you, 2,685 pages. You earlier testified today that you have been engaging with small energy companies from day one. Is that true?
Yes.
Do you know how many companies your agency has actually engaged with from Mr. Goffman to my office? 8. 8 companies. I asked him the same question I'm going to ask you. Which small producers have you engaged with regarding methane, ozone, or any of the finalized Quad O, B, and C, any of the rules that are...
We will get you a complete list.
It was given to me. It was 8 companies, and not a single one of them were small independent producers.
We will get you a complete list.
These are not gotcha questions. This is to demonstrate the fact that I don't believe you personally have taken the time and interest in an area that is producing 43+% of our country's oil and gas production.
It is a gotcha question. Asking me to ask my regional administrator to visit you, and we do that.
And by the way,
you
the
say
visit,
you're
the
not
visit
appreciative
was,
of that, and you say I haven't gone.
the visit was very much appreciated.
The gentleman's time has expired.
You are invited, and I would appreciate you getting back to me. 2,685 pages is way too much to understand anything about how to enforce these rules, how they're going to impact economically. I know my time has expired. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I
The
appreciate the
gentleman
invitation.
yields. The chair